Yes. I know you guys are happy. I know everybody's happy right now. When it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl, and well-deserving of it. We've been waiting for this moment with this team this year to see if it would actually happen, and yes, it is. I have some updates for the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to talk about a few things that have been on my mind since the game last night and some news that has been kind of rolling around the past day, but kind of want to go over a couple things, a few things. So let's get straight into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic night. I know you guys are having a great day. You're waking up the next day. You're going to work. You're feeling good about yourself. You don't have to deal with anybody because we are one of two teams that are standing in the Super Bowl. Okay, first I want to go over some news, a few things I kind of want to go over. I think the first thing to go over is Lane Johnson. He did say in an interview, and this was from this is from after the Giants win, like his groin he actually tore his groin up a lot more. I don't know if it's a different type of muscle or whatnot, but it looked like he did get hurt to where he really doesn't feel anything. There's really no supporting muscles as much as whatever's going on. Shutting down Nick Bosa in the game, I thought was, that matchup kind of scared me a little bit, but Lane Johnson did a fantastic job. The good thing about this is you win the NFC Championship game, you're going to the Super Bowl, you have another couple weeks because he's been rehabbing. I think the only times that he really says he's been in pain is when, guys are bull rushing him and, he's in a little bit of pain. But I got to say, he is toughening it out. I feel really bad for him, but he can make the decision. He could have went and got surgery, but he knows from two other ankle injuries he had and tried to play on as long as he can for those couple seasons. We're kind of crazy. And Lane Johnson with this groin injury has been working out more than expected. I didn't know before the playoffs even started. I honestly didn't think he was going to last more than a game, but it looks like the rehab and all that stuff that's going on, it's really doing him wonders, and he just got to fight it out one more game, and then we'll see the rest of it. Secondly, I want to go over Jalen Hurts. I know, we talked about it. We're going to nitpick a little bit because that's what we do. When it came down to some of the deep throws from Jalen Hurts, was the shoulder really affecting him? I think it was late in the third quarter when he got tackled on the ground. He got up real slow, and then they still ran him 4 times with 2 QB sneaks in the end zone for a rushing touchdown. I mean, I think maybe it has affected him a little bit with that deep ball because he overthrew Devontae Smith and caught it, but obviously didn't catch it, but did catch it. You know what I mean? And then the other one to A.J. Brown, which that was another one I was kind of like, man, that would have been a touchdown right there. Burnt Ward all the way downfield and just couldn't get it. So I feel like I don't know if the shoulder is really bothering him that much. Could have been nerves, could have been pressure, I don't know what it is. I have to look back at the tape of this game and just kind of see that he had pressure in his face. Was, he just threw it real quick. I don't know. But like I said about Lane Johnson, the same thing with Jalen Hurts. You have 2 weeks and he can rest up. This is the perfect time. When going to the Super Bowl, it's like having another, bye week, a double bye week pretty much. And Jalen Hurts is going to be completely fine. I'm not really worried about it too much. I know a lot of fans have been saying it's all on Jalen Hurts, but it really hasn't. I think a part of it was play calling in this game. Some of the play calling was kind of but I think it'll be fixed. I think we'll be good. I think part of it is, they ran with him, I think, one time in the second quarter, and they kind of took his legs away from him, I think. I thought the 49ers defended him really well, in the first half, and then that second half came, and they just unleashed him with this running game, and it was just fantastic. Couldn't ask for more. So like I said, the 2 weeks of rest for Jalen Hurts, I think is going to be fine. I'm not really worried about it too much, so I wouldn't make a big case about it. Dickerson, interesting one. He got hurt late in the game, and it looks like a hyperextension with his elbow from what it looks like. He'll be in a little sling probably for a couple weeks. I think he'll be completely fine. Not really worried about it. There has been some rumors that he's going to be fine. thank God you have these 2 weeks. I'm going to say 2 weeks a million times because, you don't have a game until 2 weeks later. So he should be ready by that time. Andre Dillard is definitely another guy they have that I think he is playing. When he had chances to play this year, I think he's played pretty good at left guard. This is a guy that's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year, so it could be a backup signing for the Eagles once again. Or once more, I should say, because, we drafted him in 19 coming off his rookie deal. But it looks like Dickerson's going to be fine. He was in a lot of pain when he got out of that. Somebody hit him right in the elbow, hyperextended it. So I think he'd be fine. I'm not worried about it too much. But the offensive line is definitely really important going into this one more game that we have to win the Super Bowl and get this thing. Let's get our second ring and just get it done. So, like I said, I think the Eagles have good depth. I think, Dickerson has played fantastic Pro Bowler this year. And, we're going to see what happens later on. But plenty of time to rest, plenty of time to do all that great stuff. So not really worried about Dickerson. I think he will be back most likely. Now, this is the interesting one with Jonathan Gannon. Gannon was interviewed after the game, okay? And the woman that was interviewing him was pretty much saying, oh, this is going to be your last, year in Philly, blah, 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 because, there's been a lot of rumors with him looking at coaching jobs and stuff like that, So you would always think that to see what he's going to say. So he said, quote, unquote, Philly is keeping me, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm staying here. So it looks like he's probably going to stay in Philadelphia. Now, the news I heard the other day, and this was during a stream, is that Vic Fangio signed I think he's one of the highest paid defensive coordinators now. I think the highest paid, signed with the Miami Dolphins. Now, there was rumors about the Eagles aggressively going after Fangio, but I think the Eagles might have had a change of heart and want to keep Gannon here because that Texans job is probably going to go to DeMeco Ryans, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. He gets his second interview this week with the Texans. Most likely, he's probably going to be the head coach of the Texans, so look out for that. We've had our issues with Jonathan Gannon, but I honestly believe that these last few weeks have really changed me about Gannon. I've always worried about him during the season. I understand that there's going to be Eagles fans that are going to be in an uproar when I say this because I was always worried about him every single week. You get 14 wins with this defense, and what he showed in the playoffs so far have been just aggressive, fantastic. The way they're using this defensive line, getting pressure, it's been unbelievable. It's been fantastic. At this point, I'm ready to keep Gannon for another year if that's the decision he's going to make. Now, I'm not saying that Gannon had all this interest. I think the Texans want to sign him last year. I think there was a good chance he would have signed with the Texans this past year. They went with Lovie Smith. I don't know if Gannon kind of backed off and said, nah, I don't want it. We don't really know the background information to all of that. But when it came down to it, I think just, I don't know if the rumors were true about Vic Fangio and aggressive, because he was a consultant for the Philadelphia Eagles. They never scheduled an interview with Vic Fangio. He never really had an interview. If they interviewed him, then say, okay, they have legit interest, but no news came about with Fangio having, of the Eagles having interest in Fangio. So I feel like as of right now, I think Gannon's coming back, and he even says he's not going anywhere, and that's quote-unquote from him. There's a video on it, so go check it on Twitter or YouTube. Staying in Philadelphia. I think that's a great move. As well as I think Steichen's probably going to stay here too because Frank Reich took that Carolina job, and Steichen was one of the finalists for that job. Other interest around the league? I have no idea. Haven't heard much of anything. He completed an interview with the Texans, but like I said, both our coordinators have completed interviews with the Texans, but DeMeco Ryans is going to take that head coaching job regardless. He's got a second interview, like I said, this week. So looking good for Jonathan Gannon to keep some of these coaches together and make another run next year. That's what they want to do. I don't know who's really going to get fired. If I could say someone's going to get fired, it's probably going to be Michael Clay, the special teams coordinator. I think they need to change at that. But really, other than that, I think it's good. But I'm not trying to get into all the offseason stuff, but this is news that's pretty important of the future of the Eagles, especially for the defensive coordinator. I think Gannon has learned a lot. I think Gannon has hit a lot of stuff out of the playbook this whole entire year. These past couple weeks have been ridiculous defensively. Night and day from what we've seen. The best two games I've seen all year from this defense. All cylinders on defense, really good. So that's really all I have for you guys. Like I said, we talked about Jalen Hurts and his shoulder. We talked about, Landon Dickerson, being healthy by the Super Bowl. He'll be fine. Lane Johnson's groin injury got worse after that Giants game. And because he's rehabbing so much, and he's got some time, and they rest Lane Johnson mostly the whole week. They rest him mostly 3/4 of the week. Then like the last day or two, they may have put him on the field just to make sure he's all right, and that's really it. So I have no problem going into the Super Bowl the next couple weeks and kind of going over like the updates on some of these players. Perfect time to get more healthy, because I think that first round bye, getting into the having that first seed really did help us, which we really needed, because Lane Johnson wouldn't have even played if we didn't have that first seed. So I think it's very important, and we'll just see in the coming weeks what happens. But we're in the Super Bowl, guys. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy it, rep your team, and let's get it done. So we'll have more updates for you as soon as I find out more on what's going on with all these injuries, the situations, and length of time or whatever's going on. But plenty of time to rest, plenty of time for these guys to prepare, and we'll be ready to go soon. So you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.